This is Chuck Walker with Point 5 Digital. I'm here sitting with Coach Scott Stedham. This is our second installment of the Coach's Corner. Coach, we have a couple questions this week, but the first thing I'd like to do is congratulate you on another big win last week against Chester County. Felt like the boys looked great. They looked fired up, and the adjustments that were made in halftime, coming out of halftime last week, the team looked phenomenal. What all did you say to everybody during the half?
Well, we just kind of reiterated what our plan was and went back and talked about fundamental, basic football. And then we threw the ball a little bit more in the second half because they had a lot of people up there to stop our option and stop the run. And when we can run and throw, it makes us tough to stop.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, we all know that the coaching is a full contact sport. So I think the fans out there want to know, how did you get injured this week?
Well, let's just say you need to be careful when you're in a locker room with an excited football team.
I guess that's right. Let me ask you this. Are you going to miss any time?
I'm probably, they said out 6 to 8 weeks, but we're going to play.
You're going to play through the pain. That right there is dedication, ladies and gentlemen. One of the things I noticed about the Chester County game was coming into the game, I'd heard a lot about the Cobb kid, number 6 from Chester County, and how quick he was, and you know, and a D1 talent. How did we do such a good job containing him? What was the plan going into that game? And I felt like the execution was great. How did we do that?
Well, we keyed on him and spent a lot of time working on making sure we knew where he was every play and knew their tendencies. But the main thing, we won up front. You know, our defensive line, the movement we had and some of the things we did, we won up front, and that's why football is a great team sport. One guy can't do without help, and you know, when you're getting him before he gets started, it doesn't matter how fast you are.
Absolutely. And, you know, that brings me to a good question, and this is something we don't always talk about when we're doing the radio show, and we should, but that offensive line, the holes that were opened up this past week through the middle, and it looked like you guys were committed to running up the middle the whole game against Chester County. And can you talk about what a job your line did doing that, and especially in the second half?
Yeah, they really did a good job, and Coach Fishel and Coach Boyum spend a lot of time with those guys, and we think the offensive line is where you win a football game.
Absolutely.
And we put a lot of pressure on those guys and high expectations, and you know they're all older kids, seniors and juniors that have been through the program and used their JV and freshman games to prepare, and it's their time, and we think just because we're in the shotgun, we still need to be a physical football team. That's something we emphasize every day in our program.
Absolutely. You guys look great. Well, that brings us up to tonight's game against Westview. This is our first road game of the year. What do you do to get the team ready to travel? And is there a difference between playing at home and playing on the road?
Well, there is. Personally, I love road games because you come together as a football team. You don't have anybody to depend on, and all of the you're out of your element a little bit, and you don't know how many people will be there to help. But one thing that helped us was playing in the Henry County Jamboree when we went 3 weeks ago. So we used that as a time to practice how to get on them. You know, we go through everything. We try to be real thorough so there's no surprises for our kids, and who rides what bus and how we get off and how you handle yourself on and off the bus. So we've been through it, we feel like, and we do the same thing in our sub-varsity teams. So I feel like we're ready to go, and our kids are excited about getting on the road.
Yeah, well, and you know, tonight's game, from what I understand, is actually at UT Martin, playing or coaching there again now. Does that bring back a lot of good memories from when you played there in the past?
Well, the facilities are so much nicer now.
Are they a little different now?
Yeah, it looks a little bit different, but you know, it does. I enjoyed playing football there and did have a lot of great memories, but I'm a lot more worried about the Hornets beating the Chargers.
Well, I guess that's true, and we are too. One of the things this year I've noticed the first 2 weeks of the season, I'm sure this is going to be a trend that carries on throughout the year, is each week a different player has stepped up. The first week I remember, you know, calling Garrett Lashley's name out a whole lot. Last week I remember calling Elder's name out a whole lot, calling Calderon's name out a whole lot. Of course, you know, Aaron Reed gets the ball a lot, does his thing, but how does that happen every week? How does a different player step up? What goes into that, and is that by design, or is that just a player getting hot at the right time?
Well, our offense, the thing about the triple option, when it's run correctly, and the thing we like about it, first we can adapt it to our personnel, whether we need to throw a lot or run the football. But the whole principle behind it is you got to defend all 5 guys that could have the football.
Sure.
And so we do that. Plus we had a quarterback that can run and throw. So that's 6 guys we're trying to get the football to.
That's right.
And when you spread it out, that makes it awful hard to defend. You know, we were kind of a 2-headed monster the last few years with Carlos and Quincy, but and they were special. But we feel like we're really tough to defend when we can spread the ball out to all our skill guys.
Absolutely. When we take calls in, and when I go to the radio station, that's something that people that they're, you know, aren't South Gibson fans, they have loyalties to other schools. That's something that they say when they call in, and they say, you know, we're just so surprised that so many different kids are getting it done each week, and I think that's a great testament to the players and to you guys as coaches. What do we need to do this week to go to 3-0? I always know your next game's the most important game. What do we need to do against Westview to have success tonight and come back to Medina with a big win?
Well, first of all, anytime you play Westview, Coach Cody's been there forever and done a great job, and will continue to. And they're known for a hard, physical offensive line. Mm-hmm. And so that's where we won last week and helped ourselves. So that's something we got to kind of hold our own. We're not going to dominate the trenches by any means. We got to take care of the football. They're a football team. They can get big plays, but they can also, because of their massive offensive line, it's similar to Camden's. They can just kind of hold the ball forever.
Yeah.
So we got to find a way to get off the football field, and then we got to be able to get big plays when we have opportunities and spread the ball out to all those guys. And we also feel like the special teams is going to be really huge tonight, because that's something we spend a lot of time on, and we need to win those because we're playing a really good football team, and we're going to find out if we can beat a good team on the road.
Well, I wish you guys all the best luck tonight. I know everybody out there does. We thank you so much for your time here each week, Coach, and I'd like to always end it with Go Hornets.
Thank you very much.